Hey guys, came for 15, back at it with another video for you guys, back with another sports video. And I'm talking about Angels baseball. Oh man, now look, I have no aspirations of doing Angels baseball here and there and stuff like that. Not as consistent as my Bears and not as here and there like I do with my Clippers. Angels baseball videos might be like once in a blue moon video on this channel. But I had to make this video because I am an Angels fan, and I'm sick and tired of the product they continue to put out there on the freaking field every single day. But it is what it is. It's already bad enough that this spring training period, or when the TV deal didn't happen, and we're still looking to get a TV deal for the Angels. It is bad enough that the Angels as a whole just doesn't want to be consumer friendly to their fans because they're making you watch other teams' broadcast if you want to go watch their spring training games. Or you gotta listen to the fucking radio. You just gotta turn on your radio if you got a radio, and you gotta go listen to it that way. Outside of that, you gotta have MLB TV to get access to all the other MLB teams to be able to watch spring training games to watch your Angels. For example, they're playing today and they're losing to the Dodgers. Unless you don't got an MLB TV subscription, unless you have Spectrum TV in your plan, you would not be able to watch the Angels Dodgers game today or the Angels spring training game today. And I only probably watched maybe the first 2 innings of the game, and then I immediately shut that off because they were absolutely getting crushed by the Dodgers. Jose Soriano, he can't find the fucking strike zone, and he can't get out of inning jams. Yeah, that sounds like typical Angels baseball. Sounds like put it together. When I see the guy have a chance where you let Otani and Teoscar Hernandez get on base and you strike out the next two batters, I expect you to finish the job, not walk a guy and then give up a 2-run single to Sung Kim. And then they sent him back out there after they told him go take a seat because in spring training you can actually bring a starting pitcher back. And the first batter before he got to play face Otani again is going up against a minor league batter, and he walks him. So it's nice to know that Jose Soriano is still having his inconsistent struggles when it comes to his command and finding the strike zone. Kurt Suzuki said this guy's going to be in the rotation. He's starting to look like a guy that, no, he needs to earn a spot in the rotation. This is why you need to go out there and you need to go get another starting pitcher as an insurance because you can't gamble on these young pitchers who are having inconsistent struggles. How many times do we have to continue to say Soriano's got some legit stuff, but until he puts it together, until he's more consistent where he puts the ball in the strike zone, he ain't going nowhere. Anyways, I can make so many videos to complain about the Angels, Perry Manassian signings and his philosophy and why BS, whatever he's spewing to the media, is absolutely BS to the point you have to even think, does he absolutely believe what he's saying? Or is he just saying what he's saying because he knows he's being hamstrung by a damn owner that does not know what the hell he's doing out there, and an owner that obviously, thanks to the article from the OC Register, basically essentially came out and admitted and confirmed that winning is not his top priority for this team. His top priority is affordability, fans coming out to the game and having a good time. So let me get this straight. An owner of a major league organization, a professional club in one of the four major sports, owns the team. And he comes out there and says, winning is apparently not a top priority. For people who are baseball fans who don't understand the Angels situation, always question why did Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani together never make a playoff appearance, or why has Mike Trout failed to ever get to the playoffs since 2014? You're looking at the head honcho who runs this ship in Anaheim. Arnie Moreno just admitted to the baseball world, admitted to the passionate Angel fan base that I don't really care about winning. All I care about is families coming out to watch a baseball game, have a good time. It's affordable, and then they can go home safely. Oh, yeah, I also forgot to mention it's safe, affordable environment. Does this guy know that Angel fans also go to games because they want to see the team win? Because trust and believe, if I'm spending money, whether it's cheap or not, I would fully expect I'm going to a game to see my team win. Not going to the game because, oh, the concession stand prices are cheap. I can go get me a $7 hot dog. I can go get me $24 nacho helmets and put whatever I want on it. I can go to the ice cream thing and get it for like $5 at Angel Stadium. Yes, the crosstown rival Dodgers. It's an arm and a leg to get in the building, and their freaking concession stand prices are absolutely insane. But hey, at least I can go to Angel game and get cheap parking, get cheap prices for food, and just enjoy a game. You're forgetting the one major point. The one major point is winning. Wouldn't you want to go out to a game if you're an Angels fan to see the team win? You're spending your hard-earned cash to win, to see the team win, your favorite team win. I don't spend money. I'm not going to the Clippers game tomorrow when they play the Magic. Just go out there and go have a good time. I'm going there and I hope that I use my money's well spent and they actually win the game. That's the exact same thing. If the Bears play the Chargers or the freaking Rams in Los Angeles and I decide to go to the game, I'm paying an arm and a leg to go into an NFL stadium, paying all the parking and the money and stuff like that because, hey, I'm going in there because, hey, I want to see my team play, but I want to also hope that my money's well spent because they got the W at the end of the day. Because I'm a single game buyer, not a season ticket holder. What are we doing? What are we doing? I don't. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So Ari Moreno had his yearly interview with the media, mostly the Orange County Register, with Jeff Fletcher, because he's not going to have an interview with the likes of a Sam Blum or any other Angels dude who's kind of been critical on the guy because the Angels employ a dictator-like ran organization mindset where you can't say anything negative, you can't call out anybody in the organization in bad faith because if that ends up happening, well, you're just going to be zip shut. Again, they run a dictator-like mindset or dictator-like organization there. Anyways, he talked about the TV deal and things like that. He says, "Oh, we'll be on TV." You know, obviously, whatever. The TV deal thing is nonsense. That's a baseball issue. You know, that needs to be figured out. It's blatantly clear that thanks to the Dodgers TV deal, it actually helps the Dodgers a lot more than these other teams who don't got their own networks and TV deals. If every other team had TV deals like that, well, maybe things are better. So, whatever. Because if you know the Angels been with Bally Sports or now FanDuel TV and they're losing money, and the reports are they're trying to find a TV network or maybe make their own TV network alongside with the Kings potentially. Crazy enough, you wouldn't think they'd be working alongside the fucking Anaheim Ducks, who's literally right next door to them. But no, the LA Kings. Okay. Anyways, you have that going on, so stuff like that. Anyways, you know, this is when the article starts to go more in depth about this thing. And again, here's what they asked, right? Now, there's one part of the article that asked about Artie Moreno's thoughts on selling the team. Mind you, he's a 79-year-old man, still owning a baseball club, which I mentioned a few minutes ago. He only cares about affordability and all this extra stuff, the safe environment. Winning is apparently, in his eyes, not a top priority. 79. He may have Alzheimer's, guys. He may have Alzheimer's. He goes on. The article mentions, as for the standard question about whether he's considering selling, Artie Moreno reiterated that the team is not available. He goes on to say, let's put it this way. I'm not shopping the team, Moreno said. But there's just a lot of people wanting to buy a baseball team right now. Of course. Who wouldn't want to own a baseball team and actually invest their hard-earned money into spending billions of dollars to actually invest in a team? The two organizations in MLB right now that are up for sale are the San Diego Padres and the Minnesota Twins. Artie Moreno, who is 79, has owned the Angels since 2003. He announced back in 2022, yes, that the team was for sale, but he changed his mind in early 2023, which was one of the worst days in Angels fandom history. We're thinking this guy's going to finally sell the team. He's going to be gone. And then he pulls the team off the market for sale, says we got unfinished business, and then you found out how that ended up happening. The man did not want to sell a team that had Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani on the team. And the reports and the rumors is people were offering this guy $3 billion to sell the team. You have those two superstars on your team, especially Ohtani at his fucking peak, are getting into the peak of what before he basically became transcendent, right? What he is now on the Dodgers. You had all that. You could have sold this team for a damn fortune. Could have set you, your families, and their families' life for generations off this sale. And your ass was like, no, we got unfinished business. I gotta milk the cow that was Shohei Ohtani for one more season. I realized, oh shit, we got Ohtani. I gotta milk him one more year because I know he's not coming back. That's why he didn't pull. That's why he pulled the team off for sale. He realized, oh shit, I can make one more year of generational money off Ohtani. Oh, I can't give it up yet. No. Albeit if he did sell the team, who's the fuck to say that whoever is the new owner would have re-signed Ohtani, actually put a building winning team around him for once, and actually put a winning team for this Angels team. And who knows? Maybe that changed the trajectory of not only the Angels organization, but clearly the Dodgers organization too. Because they could have potentially lost out on freaking Ohtani. The Angels would have Ohtani, and who knows? Maybe because Ohtani stays in Anaheim, maybe that gets Yamamoto to come over here, not go to the Dodgers. You see what I'm talking about? We could have been freed. We could have probably been what the Dodgers are at right now. Now, I don't know if that means we would have been winning the championships. But if we had an owner that had a semblance of fucking care about this team and is willing to put money and investment in this team, for frick's sake, the things changing. Maybe there is no freaking lockout, like there's going to be a lockout that's going to happen after this upcoming season. But because Artie Moreno got his ego is too big to just sell the team and not take the money of the people that were willing to purchase. Because listen, if you're going to be dropping $3 billion, I would fully expect you to be, oh, no. We're going to try to turn this team around, and we're going to try to do whatever we can to make this team a winner, because I'm not going to make this money that I spent go to waste. And Artie Moreno pulled out, and for whatever reason, he didn't want to take a $3 billion deal. Jeez Louise. In my situation, if I was owning the team for whatever reason, somebody's offering me $3 billion, I don't give a shit. I'm taking that and running with it. Now, again, you can make the argument, well, you are owning a baseball team and it is your product. So, why would you give up on a team? Why would you sell the team when it's literally yours? I get that. But when I get later into the article and I mention the fact how Artie Moreno clearly and blatantly is telling you he does not give a fuck, he does not care, he does not prioritize winning. That only answers the question of then, if you don't prioritize that, if that is not a top priority for you, if that is not number one, what are you doing owning a team if you don't have that? That's the exact same thing. If I don't like playing my PlayStation 5 anymore, well, then what's the point of me having a PlayStation 5? I might as well give that to a family member, give it to a sibling, or maybe just sell it at a freaking video game store and just be like, you know what? I'm done. I got a lot of other things on my plate that I'd rather do. I'd rather make the most money I can make off my dang console. And whoever is offering me the most, I'm gonna evaluate all options and I'm just gonna take it. Because you know what? I'm sick and tired of playing PlayStation on a daily basis. And I know that's going to eventually happen for me at some point. But yeah, I'm in my late 20s. I still enjoy playing video games, but I know at some point that's going to have to stop. I'm not going to enjoy playing video games anymore because one, they're getting more expensive every freaking year, and then two, like dog, I do you really expect me to be at age 50 plus still playing video games? No, no chance in hell. Like, I think I'll probably stop playing video games, like, literally seriously, probably when I'm in my mid to late 30s. After that, why would I continue playing video games? Probably just for some joy and some passion, but outside of that, no. Like, I'd rather just have my kids play freaking video games, and if they want me to play with them, yeah, I'll play occasionally and have some fun with them, but no. Anyways. All right, he does acknowledge his age leads to more questions about the team's future when he's not around. Well, duh, you're getting older. You're turning 80 next year or this upcoming year. Of course, those questions are going to be popping up because it's like, okay, are you passing it down to your children? Is your children going to be taking the team over? Or are they going to sell the team if they have full say? Ari Moreno goes on to say, I love being an owner, he said. You love being an owner because you don't get to do much of any, well, you get to have final say of everything and you get to tell everybody, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I've always liked being an owner. It's just you get into an age. I got a big birthday this year. I can't believe I made it. He's more worried about his fucking birthday. Congratulations. You're turning 80 years old. You lived a long time. I'm not advocating for the man's death, but again, I'm just saying you're more worried about your birthday than you're more worried about this team that you own being successful. Artie Moreno has come under fire in recent years for the team's failures. The Angels haven't been to the playoffs since 2014, and they haven't had a winning season since 2015. As the Angels have continued losing and the unsettled TV situation, Moreno has trimmed the payroll. He said, will it get back to 200 million? Probably, Moreno said. We got to get our TV thing worked out, and we just have to improve our brand. Well, you want to know the way to improve the brand? You win fucking games. You put a winning product on the field. Like, numbnuts. It's not hard to understand. It's really not. Moreno suggested the way to improve the product in the field is to continue trying to develop young players rather than spending money on free agents. And the reason why he says that is because he's been burned multiple times for his dumb contracts. You got to look at number one, Mr. Anthony Rendon, which is clearly the worst contract in MLB history that he's ever signed. That's why we've been seeing him so hesitant to spend, because now he can't really trust these people to come in here and do their jobs that they're being paid. But I also think that's just stupid mindset because it's like, okay, now you're telling me you're getting scared to pay guys because you're afraid they're gonna flame out. Well, then maybe you shouldn't be an owner if you're not willing to shell out the money. He goes on to say, the question is, do one or two players substantially change the record? In some instances, yes, it can. Moreno said, if you go out and spend 15 or 20 million a year, three or times five, it doesn't get it done. Well, it depends. What players are you bringing in? Are you bringing in scrubs? Are you actually bringing in productive players who your front office analyzes and say, hey, this is a good player for us. We could use his services. And you tell them no because they're asking for a pretty big contract. He talked about the suit, the Tyler Skaggs thing. So there's that, things like that, right? He quote unquote talks about the renovations. When I read that part, I'm like, dude, you made absolutely no renovations. It's just different flooring from what you were saying. And then he also, like, for example, he talked about making 5 million improvements for the winter. They redid the seating and diamond club. They did steel work, painting, and they're about to redo blacktop in the parking lots. Huh? That's nothing. I've been to Angel games. The painting has been done. Hopefully that means I'm not seeing the stadium look all rusted out because Angel Stadium is an old stadium, and there has not been any major renovations that they've done for the stadium to upgrade it, which they should. But again, he doesn't want to blow the money to do it. So he goes on to say, we put in double what we're supposed to under the lease with the city. Sure, you have. Okay. Now, this is when it gets to what I was referring to earlier in the video. And there's the whole point of this video. This is about the experience and the priorities, where priorities lie for this organization, according to Arte Moreno. I'll go through this part and read it to you guys, and then we'll talk. Arte Moreno reiterated that he's committed to the fan experience, specifically to making the games affordable for families. He states, the number one thing fans want is affordability. They want affordability. They want safety. And they want a good experience when they come to the ballpark. Believe it or not, winning is not in the fans' top five. Let's continue. Moreno says, apparently the Angels have done fan surveys. The moms want to be able to afford to bring the kids. Moreno said moms make about 80% of the decisions. They want to be able to bring their kids and be affordable, and they want safety, and they want to have a good experience. So they get all the entertainment stuff or whatever. The purist, it's just straight winning. When asked what his top priority is, Arte Moreno responds by saying, for me, I've always wanted to win. It's just, what is the cost of winning now? He then talks about Mike Trout, how he needs to stay healthy to make a difference. Well, Mike Trout's deciding to go back to play center field, so he's getting hurt by May. And I love Trout, but that was a poor decision on his part. He should stay being the designated hitter. But Trout's ego gets in the way. Look, I love Trout as much as the next guy, but if he gets hurt and I see him crying in the media again, I will have no sympathy for the man. Because all I would tell him is this: just play DH, my brother. You cannot stay healthy enough to be out there in the outfield. But go be out there in the outfield, go get hurt by May, try to come back, and then your season's done. We saw it just last year. We saw it last year with Mike Trout. He played right field, got hurt. He came back, played DH the rest of the way, stayed healthy. When you use your brain and you're using the analytics and the facts, and the proof is right there. And I understand his statistics are worse as a designated hitter than it is as playing the field. But at some point, you got to look at it and be like, It's very much clear. When you're playing designated hitter for a full year, you actually stay healthy because you're not putting all the miles and the wear and tear on your body playing the outfield. But when you play the outfield, it's proven you get hurt and you get hurt consistently. Mike Trout right now at this point, see, I used to call him like the LeBron James before LeBron went to Miami, where he plays on a team that he has to try to carry. Mike Trout is in the Kawhi Leonard phase or the Joel Embiid phase, where they're great players, but the problem is with these guys is they can't stay healthy, and any one wrong tweak, pull, or strain, they'll be out for months. He's hit that phase where it's like any slight tweak, he could roll his ankle, and Mike Trout will be gone for a month or two. Because eventually you'll find out by doing the x-rays, oh, he actually broke a bone in his freaking leg or his ankle. Mike Trout has had these freak accidents all the damn time. It attributes the fact that he plays the outfield all the damn time. But yeah, that was basically the article. That was all that it is. So now let's talk about and rant about the Arte Moreno shit. Arte Moreno talking about moms want to be able to afford the kids. They make about 80% of the decisions. Now, I think you can make a case. Moms make 80% of the decisions on everyday life outside of going to a sporting event. I would think if you're going to a sporting event, it's mostly the dad fueling that because dads love sports and they want to get their kids into sports, especially if they're playing sports. Now, if this is like a little league team and the team mom, yes, okay, fair. But like, no, it's typically the dad. The mom has some say in that, but mostly moms play that factor on matters outside of things. What the hell is he talking about? And then on top of it, he said he gives these surveys to fans. These fans do these surveys, and apparently, according to these surveys, the fans are choosing a bunch of other stuff instead of the fact that they're winning. Huh? I don't know what survey he's handing out. And I've seen on Twitter and things like that, people are like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What are these surveys that are handing out? People are just putting up like these regular surveys. It's not really these surveys that whatever the hell he's talking about. Unless, guess what? He's not putting the whole winning priority on these surveys. I've never seen a survey. I've been to multiple Angel games. I've not gotten a fan survey telling me, oh, what's your thoughts and blah 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 blah. Because guess what? They don't offer it. I think that's just some bullshit they make up. I think that's just some BS Arte Moreno made up to try to cover his ass. And again, I read this during work, and I was telling this to my coworkers. And when I read the line when he was asked about his top priority, and he said the line for me, I always wanted to win. It's just what's the cost of winning right now? When you read that line, and then you look at the previous lines before that talking about affordability, safety, we want our fans to have a good experience. We give out this survey. Fans are not having winning as a top priority. Ladies and gentlemen, Angel fans, baseball fans, when Arte Moreno says the lines, for me, I've always wanted to win. It's just what is the cost of winning right now? That is a slap in the face to every passionate Angel fan. And realistically, it's a slap in the face to every Angel fan whether you don't care about them winning or not. It's a slap in the face. This guy is insulting the fans' intelligence. He's basically saying the fans are dumbasses, they're stupid. This man, Arte Moreno, I've said it on my Twitter. He does not care about this team, about this organization. He doesn't care about winning. And two, he hates the fans. And whatever ways he tries to do whatever he does to get back at the fans because he fucking knows the fans hate him. I was there in the 2024 season, home opener against the Boston Red Sox on that cold ass day. I was up in the top levels, shivering my ass off. They played the Colorado Angels. And when they showed Arte Moreno on the Jumbotron outside of Otani, the fans profusely booed. The next night, they play Colorado Angels again. He was removed from the Colorado Angels. Angels postgame show like to have the postgame show take place under the big hats. Right there. Angel fans who were right there were chanting, and it was very much heard on the broadcast. Angels fans chanting, "Sell the team, sell the team." The next night, the Angels moved their post-game show on the field. Because you want to know why? You have to leave as the fans. You can't stay there. You gotta leave. Ushers will tell you to leave. Once the game's over, you're leaving. Coincidence? I think not. The owner knows the fan base hates him. The owner knows the fan base wants him to sell the team. The owner knows the transgressions he's causing on a daily basis for this organization. The owner knows fans do wear sell the team shirts. They wear it to games. And then next thing you know, he tells these people, the security, if you see anybody that says sell the team or anything derogatory about me, tell them to take the shirt off. Otherwise, they cannot be admitted in. Even though they spent their hard-earned cash, their hard-earned money to go purchase a game, to go to an Angel game. Which means they have whatever rights to wear what they want. As long as it's not too derogatory, they have every right to wear a sell the team shirt because they can. There's a reason why the Angels don't have a fan fest. Because one, he doesn't want to do one. Angels haven't had a fan fest in years. All these other teams in the league have fan fest before the team flies out for frickin' spring training. I would buy a ticket to go to the Angels fan fest. Whether it's paid or not, I don't care. I think a bunch of people, you can make a lot of money going there. You can have something special for your season ticket holders where they get to be able to talk or have a sit down with the players. You can get in conjunction with your foundation. You can sell merchandise, sell autographed memorabilia, things like that. It would be a whole Angels day. But the Angels don't choose to do it because Arte Moreno doesn't like the fans. He doesn't interact and bring back the alumni. Rod Carew is one of the reasons why. He does not want nothing to do with the Angels till Arte Moreno is gone because Arte Moreno has treated him like shit. Angel fans have been dealing with this guy for years. This guy does not care. He doesn't care. When he's openly saying, what is the cost of winning now? It just tells me he doesn't want to pay the money to go out there and put a winning product on the field. I'm fine with developing these young players. I'm fine with that. But I want a competitive team. This mantra of developing players, where has this got you? It's got you nowhere. It's got you almost being dead last in the AL West every year, and you have losing season after losing season after losing season. You also got to have veteran players to come in there and help these young players get along. You got to provide the best amenities for these players when they're coming from the minor league system up into the big league club. It was thanks to Barry Enright who got that pitching lab created for them. He begged the Angels to do it. He begged them to do it, and they finally caved and did it for him. And now they got a pitching lab. They have that. Because Arte Moreno doesn't care about the team. He doesn't care about the players. He doesn't care about what can I do to best benefit these players so they're put in positions to succeed. So then when they come up to the big league club, right off the ground running, they'll have their struggles, but they'll be good in a few games. The owner doesn't care. When he re-signed Mike Trout in 2019, I re-signed him just to get him to come back. He told him to his face, I wanted to keep you here because why? I want to win with you, and I'm going to do whatever I can to build a team around you. He failed to do that. He failed to do that for Ohtani. When he took the team off for sale, and he said, this is unfinished business. He should have went out there and he should have been blowing his money. He should have been going up into the luxury tax at the start of the season, not at the deadline. That was even more laughable because after this team clearly fell and then you knew they weren't going to make the playoffs, he started offloading contracts to get back under the luxury tax. Like, come on. You traded away prospects at the deadline to try to get from out under the luxury tax because you knew it wasn't going nowhere. But instead of just eating it and being a man, no, he didn't. It's a joke Arte Moreno said. The comments he said today are said yesterday in that article. It shows you he does not care about winning. If winning is not his number one priority, why are you on the team? Why do you own the team? What is your real reason why you love owning a baseball team? Is it because the amount of money you make? Because clearly, that's what it more than likely sounds like it is. You just enjoy getting the money into your bank account and making millions and being a billionaire. Yeah, I know, making a lot of money is great. But you want to know how you want to make more money? You put a winning team out on the field. The team up to 5. Up the freeway. They're doing whatever it takes to win. Because you want to know why? They know we win, more people will spend more money on us. And it's not just the LA market. It's around the United States. It's around the damn world because we got a global superstar in Shohei Ohtani. We can make our brand the biggest brand ever. That's what the Dodgers are doing. The Angels had Shohei Ohtani, and they didn't even market him correctly. That's what I don't get about this guy. You love making money so much, and it's very obvious he likes making money. Why don't you why don't you invest in the team? Because you put an investment in the team and they're successful, your investment is very much worthy of it. It's warranted. It profits off of that. But no, he doesn't care. He only cares about making the money. He likes to make the money and saving every single penny he likes to do. That's why the Angels, every offseason, under this guy's watch, they make a few moves that, hey, could be promising moves. And you're like, okay, maybe the Angels need to make one more move here, one more move there, and I think you can say we got a solid team. And you don't see them making these moves. And you look at other teams signing these players to cheap contracts. It's like the Angels could have made that deal. They could have done that. Oh wait, that's right. Arte Moreno told GM, aka Perry Manassian, his spending limit has been reached. The budget is done. It's zero now. Which puts more pressure on your GM to try to make and negotiate with these players. Well, I'm only being given this amount of money that we can give you, and our budget isn't exactly the best. That makes his job look better, and that's what makes people trash him. And that's why you have some people who can criticize Perry Manassian. Perry Manassian deserves to be criticized for some of the moves he's made. It doesn't help when Perry Manassian is going out there openly talking, saying like, "Oh, I 100% believe in this team. This team, we got what we need from this team." When clearly you know that's a flat out lie. Now I know he's saying that because he can't say, "Oh, no, we definitely need a lot more and we could be better." But at the end of the day, too, you can just be honest. I'd rather Perry Manassian be honest and say, "Look, it's not enough. We've been doing this the past few years, but it is what it is." But I do know for a fact, you know, this isn't good enough, and we have to do better. So whether that's me doing a better job at splitting up, funds for contracts, that's the thing. But we got to play with who we got. Hopefully, it's better than it has been previous years. Be honest with the fan base. We're not stupid. But the problem is the Angels organization treats the fans like they're stupid idiots. And that's why they cater to those people. They cater to the Halo honks who appear on Roger Lodge's show. They cater to the fans that only go to the games to have a good time. And they don't care if the team wins. I'm just happy I went to an Angels game and we had a good time and a good experience. Something that I could tell my kids, right? Did you enjoy this, little Johnny? Yeah, yeah, I did, Daddy. I did enjoy it. It was fun. You don't cater to the hardcore fan base of the Angels who they just want to see this team be successful. They want to see this team win. And even then, when you're talking about families, sometimes you can have great moments as a kid when you're cheering on your team and they're winning and they're doing good. Like, geez Louise, do you think any of these teams in these other professional leagues who, guess what? They can live to tell the championship about. I guarantee you, for example, Seattle Seahawks fans who were kids who are watching this among their parents, they're gonna be talking about years down the road when they're freaking 20, saying, "Man, I remember when I was a kid, bro, and the Seattle Seahawks win the Super Bowl. I was so happy as a kid. I don't know why they won, but I was happy that they won." Those are the moments as a fan, when you're a kid, you just enjoy. And that's what gets you locked into and gets you devoted to a team. Because as you grow older, you then start to understand more about the sport. You then start to have more passion for your team. And then Artie Moreno goes out and basically shits on the fans and doesn't give a crap. He openly is telling you, I don't give a fuck about winning. I don't care about winning. That's nothing of my concern. I don't care. As long as you guys keep coming back to the game, you keep spending your hard-earned money, and you keep on coming out telling, and having a good time and doing the wave at Angel games and things like that, and having these coming out to these weekends, getting the bobbleheads and things like that, and blah 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 blah. All the other BS. That's all that matters to me. All I care about is having a good time, making sure you guys are safe. Then you got to really evaluate. See, that at that point, why do you own the team? If you want to have a good time, give it to somebody else. Give it to somebody else that is like, no, I want to be best of both worlds. I want to have everybody come out here to an affordable experience, have a great time, have a safe time. Especially in America with today, with all these mass shootings. You should hope that your ballpark is safe. You should hope you have enough security that you can have a family come in there and feel safe for once. That's just an added on bonus. This team needs who at some point Arte Moreno is not going to own this team. At some point. I fully expect at some point he's going to sell. And if the man croaks, I fully expect his family, his children, they're probably want nothing to do with the brand, want nothing to do with the Angels. I could see where they sell the team. I just want an owner who purchases his team is not like Arte Moreno. I want somebody who is going to purchase his team and say, no, this team has been misinterpreted, misutilized, underutilized, and underappreciated by the previous person who was running this team. He didn't know how good he had it in here. You're in Southern California in a market, albeit you claim to be LA, but Orange County, Anaheim. It's still a pretty big market. Southern California. You have a passionate fan base. And they were mistreated. Now I'm going to do whatever I can to get this team back to where it needs to be. And who knows? Maybe these dark years are the freaking 90s years of the Angels where they weren't that good. And then we get that stretch of a decade where the Angels are good when we have a new owner. But that's the thing. The owner's got to change. If the owner doesn't change, we're going to be doing the same song, same dance again and again and again. I was at a baseball game, minor league baseball game, talking to a Dodger fan. He knows I'm an Angel fan. And he's like, hey, man, look. I'm a Dodger fan. I personally enjoy seeing the Angels down in the mud, and because I don't give a crap. But look, man, keep enduring it. Keep enduring it. Get through it every single year. Because guess what? Artie is going to be gone at some point for you guys, and you guys are eventually going to be like, like us at some point, where you guys are going to be successful. Because that Dodger fan made the mention, look, I remember Frank McCourt. Those years were brutal. And we had to endure it to get to where we're at now. That's the crazy part. And again, that dude wasn't wrong. Look at the Dodgers. They were under Frank McCourt. Terrible owner. Similar to what Arte Moreno is now. He didn't care about the brand. He didn't care. When he finally sold the team, he sold it to an ownership group that actually cared, that wanted to put a winning product on the field. And you've been seeing them be in World Series and make playoff appearances, and now they can't even stop not making the World Series because they care about winning. Kevin Pillar earlier today on Foul Territory, he called out the owner. He said, I don't know what the hell his thinking is if that's his mindset. If that's the case, that's your mindset, well then why are you still here? You might as well just let somebody else go do your job, and you might as well just sell the team and give it to somebody else that actually does care. Because and Kevin Pillar is a guy that played in the organization. He said he enjoyed his time there. He said it is a top-notch organization despite what people say about it. But it's just that type of mindset is a turn off to players. Because it's like, well, then you're telling your players. Like, how does that mean? What does that, by coming out with a statement, what does that mean for Zach Neto? If Zach Neto hears that. Oh, the guy that's paying the bills for me, he's telling me he doesn't care. He just wants the fans to have a good experience, but he doesn't care about my success. Like, I came here, I worked my ass off to get here because most importantly, I want to help this team win. And you're saying you don't care? You just want fans to have a good experience? I want fans to have I guarantee you these players want the fans to have a good experience. But at the same time, these players work hours. These coaches work hours. These front office members work hours to try to win because their jobs are on the line every single day, every single night, every single year. Perry Minasian and Kurt Suzuki are in one-year contracts. If the team is not good, Arte Moreno has full right to say your guys are not coming back. You're toying with these guys' livelihoods. And you come out and you say that? What is that? How is an employee for them? How is that supposed to make them feel? You're juggling my job over my head. I'm stressing out. I'm putting in so many hours to try to turn this team around, and you're telling me you don't care about winning, and my job is on the line. It's absolutely deplorable. It's absolutely disgusting. Moreno is a fucking cancer to this organization. And when he's fucking gone owning this team, I know there's going to be better days because there's going to be someone that's going to take over. That's going to realize the Angels have been misutilized by the previous owner. And they're going to come in here and they're going to change things and they're going to make this team a winning team. Because sure as hell, I highly doubt we'll have back-to-back terrible owners that don't give a shit about the team. So, as an Angel fan, I just have to put up, shut up, and endure with it. Because I know one thing, unless something major happens in my lifetime, I will outlive Arte Moreno. Now, never say never. Anything can happen in this world. One day you can say, oh, this, and the next thing you know, you're. Bleh. But, again, knock on wood, barring nothing bad happens to me and many other Angel fans who are young, we will outlive Arte Moreno and his tenure as owner of this team. There will be brighter days ahead at some point where we can look back where this team is successful. I'm not even saying win championships. I'm just saying being a successful team that consistently makes the playoffs on a year-to-year basis. We could be looking back 10 years from now. We get in that situation. And we're saying, man, we had to, when we're telling our kids, enjoy this period of winning. Because lo and behold, I'm enjoying this period of winning every single night. Because for damn near a whole decade, I had to be put up with cheering for a team that was one of the worst teams under the worst owner in this team's history. These comments Arte Moreno made today just proved he is the worst owner in all of baseball. And he is definitely top 10 in all of sports. NHL, NBA, NFL. He's probably more than likely in your top 5, top 3 of worst owners in all of the professional in the four major sports in the United States. In the NBA, the NHL, the MLB, and the NFL. He is top 3, more than likely. If not, you can make a case he's number 1. He just does not care. And the fact that he just wants fans to come out to a game, enjoy a good time, be safe, and have it be an affordable event, it really goes to show you and spits on your face and spits on the intelligence as an Angel fan that he does not give a fuck. Because if he actually did care, and he actually did care about winning, he'd be putting money despite whatever the payroll negatives is. Because he would be putting a winning team on the field. He would tell Perry, there is no budget limit. Go out there, go bring in the team, go spend money. You have my full autonomy. Because guess what? You can make that money back if you spend money. But Arte Moreno doesn't get that. Again, look at the spring training thing. Not broadcasting games. I have to go look for other teams' broadcast. And I have my means to go do that. I can go watch these spring training games, and watch them free of charge. I have my ways. Because you can pirate them, or you can go find an app that can actually give you rights and access to do that, and you don't have to spend a dime. But the TV thing, not having Angel games on TV for their spring training, to have Angel fans have a local way to watch, or just watch for free if you're in the state of Southern California. Why do I have to go arm and a leg and try to go watch the Dodgers version of the broadcast? No, I don't want to listen to their fucking bias, and you know how the Dodgers broadcast is. I don't want to listen to them. I don't want to go out there when they're playing the Guardians spring training and listen to the Guardians broadcast. I want to hear our guys. How are they talking about our team? I don't want to talk about them because you go to another team's broadcast, they're just only be talking, they'll talk a little bit about the other team, but they're mostly talking about the opposing, the team that we're playing because that's their broadcast. What a turnoff. And you're only telling Angel fans, yeah, the only way you can watch an Angels perspective thing is you got to watch the radio. This is 2026. 2026. Maybe the radio is for old people. Maybe old people are still listening to the radio because that's their thing and they just don't understand all this new tech. That's fine. But for me, oh, hell no. Why should I have to go watch another team's broadcast, turn on my radio, mute the other team's broadcast, turn on my radio, try to sync up the radio with the actual game? So I can just what? Listen to Terry Smith? Man, get out of here. Get out of here. Why should I have to do that? And again, you're chasing away the fan base. You're chasing away. It's an absolute joke, man. It's an absolute joke. And these dudes, they're losing 10 to nothing. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. I said what I needed to say about the fucking Angels. It's just it's just frustrating. It's just frustrating that year after year we fans have to be subjected to this dude who's going on 80 years of age. And he just won't swallow his ego pill and just say, you know what? I'm just not enjoying this. My priority is not winning. And again, if that's the case, then sell the team. But see, that's the crazy part. Arte Moreno is the worst owner in all of baseball. He's worse than Jerry Reinsdorf, who is the owner of the White Sox, who is a pretty bad owner. And he's a terrible owner for the Chicago Bulls. He's worse than John Fisher, who is the owner of the A's. And look at what the A's are doing. The A's are actually spending money. They're all going out there and they're trying to put a competitive product on the field. Albeit it took them till trying to get closer to Vegas to do it, but still. It still sucks for the people of Oakland, but you can make the case, well, at least Judd Fisher's putting something into the product, and the A's do look promising. And Moreno's terrible. And shit, even when you go back to White Sox, Jerry Reinsdorf, he agreed to a deal with the owners of the Suns that at some point, if he doesn't feel like owning the team, he'll just give the rights to the team over to them. Like I forgot what their whole thing is, but their whole thing is like at some point in the future, at 1 year, I forget 1 year or something like that, right? Um, Unless he decides to sell on his own, if he gets to I think it's like 2031 or something like that. The Ishbias, the owners of the Suns, they can make the decision, they can make the move to be like, all right, yeah, we want to purchase that team. They have a deal in place. Basically, the Ishbias got to wait it out. Unless, Ray Reinsdorf says, you know what, I'll just sell it to you guys. Like Frick. So, look, man, I don't know what would get Arte Moreno to sell the team. I mean, this is something similar to the Dodgers where a player, somebody's like, hey, I'll buy the team, but you can make this amount of, you can make all your revenue off of parking lots. Because that's what the Dodgers got going on. The new owners own the team, but for games, Frank McCourt still makes money off of the parking lot. That's why you see the parking lots for Dodger Stadium. If you ever go to a Dodger game, I guess if you're watching the Angels play them, why the parking is insane. Or something. Arte Moreno can make money off parking lot and concessions and team store stuff. We just own the rights to the team. So it is what it is. I'm just sick and tired of this nonsense. I'm ready for Arte Moreno just to go away permanently and just be gone from owning this team because he's put me and many other Angel fans just in spots where it's like, dude, we just hate rooting for this team because we know at the end of the day we stand no chance because we are ran by the worst owner in all of baseball. But we'll see. We'll see. We always hope. We always hope that maybe it's next year he just puts the team for sale. Look, the fact that he's been mentioning sell of the team and these questions been asked about him selling the team, at some point, more than likely, he's gonna eventually cave and say, "Yeah, the team's going up for sale." Because at some point, that's what's gonna happen. He's eventually gonna stop owning this team. He's gonna eventually be sick and tired of owning being an owner of the team. And he's gonna be like, you know what? I don't want all this. So I'm just gonna sell it. And hopefully he sells it to the bidder that wants to put and invest money into it. And he sells it to an owner that doesn't view the Angels just as something to make some money back. He actually is going to put money into it. Do essentially what like Steve Cohen is doing, putting money into the team and trying to do whatever he can to put a winning team on the field and win a World Series. I hope at some point I see the Angels in the World Series win it all. Because if that's the case, then that will make me so happy as a fan because then I can just go back and be like, I had to endure all this bullshit with Arte Moreno, and now it's all finally paying off. That's the hope. The hope is in the future, 10, 15 years, the Angels are so good, they actually get to the World Series, they win it all. Because then we as Angel fans can all be like, man, we are actually World Series champions. We had to deal with Arte Moreno for this period of time, and now we're finally here. So this video's been long enough. I'm gonna get out of here. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts. I don't know if I'll make some more Angel videos. Maybe here and there I'll do Angels videos and things like that. But I just need to talk about this because this is stupid. If you don't have winning as a top priority, why are you owning the team? And that's a question for a reporter. Why are you not asking that follow-up question? As a reporter, how are you not doing your due diligence and saying, with all due respect, Mr. Moreno, if you're saying winning is not a top priority for you, because that's what it's sounding like, why would you make the case you should still decide to own the team? And you ask it in a respectful way where he can say, because the populace, the media can go out there and say and use these words and say, like, hey, maybe you don't deserve to own the team because apparently winning is not your top priority. You would have him game hook and game line singer, which would prove anything he says after that would just be BS lies. But we know he's lying. We know he lies about saying, I love being an owner. I like winning. No, you don't. You probably hate being an owner because of the flack you get. You don't like being an owner because of all this other stuff. The only thing you like about being an owner is, again, the money coming to your bank account. But whatever. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Catch you guys in the next video. Till then, guys, stay safe out there. Have a great rest of your day or your night or whenever you're watching this video. And I will see you guys in the next sports video, whether it's Clippers, Chicago Bears, sports in general, and yes, even Angels baseball with maybe the once in a blue moon post. Till then, guys, stay safe, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.